Welcome back. So in this video, what I'm going to do, I'm going to give you the proof of the problems that we discussed just before this video. So in the first video of this series, I discussed about a problem. I gave two examples. I discussed two examples where we saw that if the sequence goes to infinity, if the sequence goes to 0 as n tends to infinity, then the function was also getting towards 0 as x goes to infinity, right? And the second video, we talked about the Bayes' theorem, right? So now here in this video, I'm going to discuss the proof of this theorem, of this problem. And before that, just letting you know that this problem appeared in the Stanford University qualifying exam at the PhD level of mathematics in the year 2019. And I find it a little interesting. That's why I'm making a video on that, and that's why I'm sharing it with you guys. So thanks for having a look on this, and thanks for subscribing my YouTube channel. And just recently I got 54 subscribers, so I'm happy about that. And yep, let's start. Okay, so if we talk about the proof of this problem, I have divided the proof of this problem into three parts. The first part talks about the Bayes' theorem that we discussed in the previous video. The second part talks about locating a special x such that we can apply Bayes' theorem onto the second part of the proof. And third part is the climax, okay? So let's start. In the step 1, we will define one subset of 0 to infinity, and before that, just make sure that you know this thing, that 0 to infinity is an interval, is a like infinite interval, semi interval, which is a complete metric space. Okay, so we define Fn in this manner. So on this Fn, what is happening, it's like this, that the absolute of Fnx, actually we can remove absolute of this thing, is less than epsilon, where epsilon is just a positive arbitrary number. Okay, now here we see that Fn is closed because the function is continuous, and the function is continuous, how we know this thing? Because it is given into the question. Okay, so and it is countable because it is all Fn's are associated with particular different respective n, and n is countable number, right? And since it is countable, it is dense and it is closed, so we have a countable collection of closed dense subsets such that the union is 0 to infinity. Okay, this is closed, this is open. I'm sorry for my bad handwriting. Okay, now what we'll do next, we will apply Bayes' theorem. Okay, so if we apply Bayes' theorem, we can get an open interval of this format which lives in Fn naught. Okay, let me recall what is Bayes' theorem. Bayes' theorem, if we have a complete metric space such that we have a countable collection of closed dense subsets whose union is the whole space, then we can find at least one index such that the basis of that whole system lives inside that countable collection of closed dense subsets. Okay, over here the countable collection of dense subsets was Fn, and the basis of those complete metric space is this open interval. So this interval will lives in this Fn naught. Now here is one trick that you have to remember, that x naught over n naught is always less than r. Otherwise we will not be able to find any x naught which lives inside that interval. Okay, so till now we have completed step 1. Now we'll go to the step 2. Step 2 is all about finding such a x such that we can apply this Bayes' theorem. And how we'll do that? We'll try to find x which is always greater than this t naught. And what is t naught? T naught is nothing but n1 x naught. Okay, and make sure that n1 is a positive integer. It always belongs to c plus, such that it is greater than n naught. Okay, and if this thing is true, then we can decompose x into this linear terms, right? X equals to nx multiplied by x naught plus lambda, where lambda is always less than x naught, but it can be 0, and nx is a positive integer number. Okay, so I hope this is clear, because now we have done the step 2. Step 2 was just a small step. It was an introductory step of whatever we're going to do in the next step, which is the last step. So let's go to step 3. Step 3 is the climax of the proof. Now we'll pick fx. What is fx? Fx, in place of x we can write this thing, nx multiplied by x naught plus lambda, right? And the next step we can take out nx outside of this bracket so that we get nx multiplied by whole bracket x naught plus lambda over nx. Now here's the trick. Here is the catch of all the proof. You can see this, that lambda over nx is less than or equals to x naught over nx, right? And because lambda will always be less than x naught, which is why this whole thing is less than this fraction. Now nx is something that we have chosen in such a manner that it is greater than or equals to n1, right? But if it comes in the bottom part of the fraction, then this whole thing will be less than or equals to x naught over n1. And this fraction is less than x naught over n naught. And in the step 2, we discussed that this fraction is less than r, right? Which means that this point will lie in this interval, right? And this interval by Bayes' theorem lies inside fn naught. But what is happening in that interval, in that set, in that subset, the function is less than epsilon, right? So which means that this function is less than epsilon, and this is what we wanted to show, right? Therefore, the function goes to 0 as x goes to infinity. I hope you like my video. I hope you like this problem. I find it little interesting. That's why I discussed this problem over here. And please make sure, if you haven't subscribed this my channel and you are new, please subscribe it. I hope you like my content, and see you next time.